Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong. Homage to the 16th Dharma King, His Eminence Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukden Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And to the main deity of Homa, Mariji Bodhisattva, we pay homage. Simu, Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the webcast, and our guest of honors today, the Chief Secretary for Taiwan Government, Mr. Tsang, the Advisor to the Overseas Chinese Affairs Council of Republic of China, Ms. Zhou, from Pacific Islands International Travel, the President, Ms. Cheng, Zheng Yiyu, from the Taiwan Representative Office in Hawaii, the Special Assistant to the Director General there, Mr. Xiao, from National Cheng Kung University, the Electrical Engineering Professor, Professor Wang, from National Zhongzheng University, the Electrical Engineering Special Professor, Dr. Wang and Mrs. Wang, from National Yunlin Science and Technology University, the Electrical Engineering Professor, Dr. Wang, from National Taiwan Science and Technology University, MBA Professor Dr. Lin, from National Tsinghua University, Dr. Li and Mrs. Li, from the DPP Party of Tainan City, the Chief Director, Mr. Tsai, representative to the legislator Cai Ji-chang, Ms. Chen Hui-mi, and a senior in His Holiness Alumni College, who's also the former Vice President of the Overseas Chinese Chamber of Commerce of Philadelphia, Mr. Zhang, alumni of His Holiness Mr. and Mrs. Tsai, alumni of His Holiness Mr. Zhao, Mr. Li, from the KMT Party of Kaohsiung City, the representative of the Vice Chair, Xu, a notable businessman from Hong Kong, Mr. and Mrs. Lei, from CTI TV, the producer for the Illuminating Your Heart, Ms. Rebecca Su, producers for the Platform Sutra and Development Stages of Tantrayana, Master Lian Yue, and the host Dharma Sister Pei Jun.
My sister, Lu Sheng-mei. 谢大家来。
Thank you for coming. Good afternoon. How do you do? First, I would like to make a personnel announcement. Today, we have 6 new masters, Dharma masters or Acharya. Master Lian Yi. And Master Lian Yu. Master Lian Yong. Master Lian An. And the superintendent of Taiwan Lei Tsang Temple, Master Lian Qin. And Master Lian Qin. So these 6 masters, they are guaranteed. One is guaranteed by Master Changzi, and the others are guaranteed by Master Lian Zhe. So they have warranty. And also warranty by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So today we had the Homa of Mariji Bodhisattva. And this deity has a very special affinity with True Buddha school. I have written it in the book, in my book. And we could say that she is one of the greatest supporter and protector of True Buddha school. And his Vajra name is Zan Wei or Yang Wei Vajra. She has great power. And she has great power. That in the sutras, there is a sutra, that Mariji Sutra, spoken by the Buddha. And she or he is moving swiftly in front of the sun. The mantra.
当初有一个秘密，我跟大家稍微谈一下。
There is a secret that I would like to share. That in the True Buddha school we have this True Buddha supporters website. When we just started it, I prayed to Mariji Bodhisattva. And I said, the True Buddha supporters ground. I said, if there are reference or Dharma teachers have written articles about supporting the gurus and supporting the teachings, Marici Bodhisattva said, please bestow the Acharya, the position of an Acharya or Dharma master. So Dharma teachers, which are the monks and nuns, any monks or nuns who have written an article and have been posted article about supporting the gurus and the teachings and have been posted on the website, Marici Bodhisattva asked Grandmaster to bestow the position of Acharya or Dharma masters. But now, since I have told you, so anyone who writes after now are cancelled, exempted. This is for the past, but not from now on, because now I have announced it. The problem is, all the monks and nuns here has any of you written an article and been posted on the website? Please raise your hand. So I like to tell you, not for masters, because you're already acharyas. Anyone who has written an article and been posted on the True Buddha supporters website, any referent or Dharma teachers or monks or nuns from any place, from all over the world. No one of you present here raise your hand, right? Right? No one raised his or her hand. But I'm telling you that we have over 500 Dharma teachers or monks and nuns. And they are all equal. But none of them has written an article about supporting the gurus and supporting the teachings. Not even one. So it is simple. You ask for the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. For what? So you ask Grandmaster to live a long life. For what? For what? So you ask Grandmaster to live a long life to be slandered, to be criticized. We have over 500 monks and nuns, and none of them has ever showed their support in writing an article.
Okay.
There is a master who said there was a referent or a monk or nun who wrote an article, but the webmaster did not post it. So we should observe him or her. So we should observe further. So think about it. 真佛护法严地 the website, the True Buddha supporters website, is to support the gurus and the teachings. And Marici Bodhisattva is incredible. She could observe and see the hearts of all beings. That those who are for others or for public are very far and few in betweens. They are mostly for themselves. But for the Buddhist disciples, or anyone who has made the Bodhisattva vows, should be put more importance on others or for the public and not for private or for self. So all the Dharma teachers who are present here and all over the world, none of you, not even one, that has their article posted on the website. So Marici Bodhisattva told me that you can use this to examine everyone, to examine all the Dharma teachers, the monks and nuns, and also all the Dharma propagators, and see whether they do or not. Then you would know their hearts, how their hearts are. So Marici Bodhisattva told me. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe in Marici Bodhisattva, and then she said, just observe it until the day of Marici Bodhisattva, then you can say it and see if there is anyone would raise their hands. And it turned out only Marici Bodhisattva is truly True Buddha's greatest supporter and protector. So isn't that strange? I didn't believe it before. Now I believe it. It turned out that you cannot rely on anyone for anything. You have to rely on yourselves for everything. For every single thing, you cannot have any reliance. The same for our spiritual cultivation. You cannot rely on your lineage root guru. You cannot rely on Acharya. You cannot rely on the reference or Dharma teachers, or you cannot rely on Dharma propagators. You have to rely on your own, on yourself. So you have to perform on your own. And if you have performed and you have been seen by the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, by Grandmaster, by a lot of other people, then they would attain the position of Acharya. This is important. What I say today is very important. Actually, when you become When you became a Dharma propagator, when you're ordained, you have to forsake yourself. You can only be striving for your spiritual cultivation and to support the teachings of the Buddhas. So to support the teachings of the Buddhas or the Tathagatas, not supporting True Buddha School, you're supporting the teachings of the Tathagatas. And True Buddha School is also within the realm of the Tathagatas' teachings. So any Buddha's teaching you should support. And supporting your guru, who is your guru, the gurus that you take refuge in, then you need to support. That's why you have to follow the 50 stanzas of Guru's devotion. This is very important. Today, because we had Marici Bodhisattva, that's why I said my contract or promise with Marici Bodhisattva. If there is a Dharma teacher, monk or nun, who has his or her article posted on the True Buddha supporters website, even only one article, then you can empower him or her as a Vajra Acharya. Just one article. And it turned out, even though we have over 500 monks and nuns in True Buddha School, no one raised his or her hand. So, what can I do? That's how it is. Marici Bodhisattva has a mudra, and she's very special. This is the mudra. And this is the name mantra. Recite her name, Om Moniji Soha. She has her look. There's a version of 2 arms, 8 arms, or many arms. 8 arms? Nobody knows? This deity has 3 arms. 8 arms. And there are also 2 arms, which is in the look of a goddess or celestial maiden. One hand, the right hand, is holding the divine fan. Of course, it's not like this. It's not this kind of fan. A celestial fan. It looks a little bit like the banana leaf fan, like in the Journey to the West, that's held by the princess. And the other one is, the left hand is the bestowing mudra. So it is easier to visualize the one with 2 arms. For 8 arms, each of the arms holding an implement. And then in front of her, there are the golden pigs or boars that's carrying her treasure seat or cart. So if you recite the Mariji Sutra, it is written. Please listen carefully.
Om Mani Zhi Soha 务请加持，在亡难中护我。
So Om Maliji Bodhisattva, please help and support me in the lawsuits or calamities or disasters because of the country or the kings. And please protect me in robberies or burglaries. If someone is trying to rob you, when the thief arrived at your house, all of a sudden he saw a lot of locks around your house and then abandoned the house and just forget about it. So please protect us from thieves. Please protect us from accidents, road accidents. Whether you ride in a car, in a motorcycles, in a bicycles, walking, she could support you, protect you. And please protect me in the flood, natural disasters. So like everybody is in the flood except your house. And this happened. In front of your house, they're all flooded. Behind your house, they're all flooded. Only your house is not flooded. This has happened. So those who knows, please raise your hand. And in New York City, for the big hurricane, her house was close to the ocean, and the flood around her house except on the house. And the water just turning and turning in front of the house but didn't get to the house. It's the same for the fire accident. So the same with fire. So burn the houses here and then continue and then jump over your house and then continue over there. So except your house. So please protect us from disasters, from weapons, weaponries. So during wars and battles, protect us. No matter what, when we were in the military, we all know that the new soldiers are afraid of the dynamites. But the old soldiers are afraid of the machine guns. Because the machine guns are very tight. So it's 2 and 3. So the machine guns are horrible. With the sweep. Oh. But the new soldiers are afraid of the dynamites because it sounds scary. But the old soldiers, they will not be hit by the cannons, but they're afraid of the machine guns. So please, Mariji, please protect us from the ghosts and gods So if you suffer illnesses because of the ghost or black magics, spells, Marici Bodhisattva has a way to help. And also protect us from poisons. So you will not touch the poisonous thing. So even when someone put poison in your cup, somehow they got confused and forgot which cup was it, and then you take the cup that has no poison. And the person who tried to poison you turned out to be poison. Grandmaster went to India, Varanasi, a city of 5,000-year-old, and that morning for breakfast I made the offering, and Marici Bodhisattva did not come to accept the offering. And then I knew that the food should not be eaten. And I was accompanied by 17 other people. When I made the offering, because I noticed that Marici Bodhisattva and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do not accept the offering, I didn't eat it. But the rest of the people ate it. But the city was called Varanasi in Chinese. Okay, it could sound like, oh no, I had diarrhea. So all 17 people had diarrhea except Grandmaster. Any of those 17 people are here? Changzi, did you have diarrhea? He said a little bit. A little bit's not bad. We had a photographer called Tony from England. After he had diarrhea, when he wanted to take a picture, he kneeled down, and then all of a sudden his face changed, and he said, "Oh, just wait 5 minutes," and he had to go. And he had to go for 20 or 30 times in a day. It was worse for him. Simu, did you have diarrhea? He held it up. Maybe she used some papers or tissue paper to plug it. Simu said on the last night she had diarrhea and vomited for the whole night. It was bad. Many of you, a few of you were there, right? Changren, did you have diarrhea? He said a little bit. That's good. You're protected by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, that you only had a little bit of diarrhea. Protect me from poisons, accidents due to poisons, and protect me from accidents and calamities due to beasts, animals. Also protect me from debtors, karmic debtors, enemies. And always protect me. So this is from the Marici Sutra. So if you recite Marici Sutra, Marici Mantra, she will protect you. So today, those who became the primary sponsors for the Homa and those who participate, or those who watch over the webcast, and those who have heard of her name are very fortunate. She has a mantra with her name. And with her mudra and her look, if you could not visualize her with 8 arms, you could visualize her in the celestial maiden form with 2 arms, holding a celestial fan and with the bestowing mudra. So by reciting her mantra, her sutra, and reciting her vows, you would be protected. She's the greatest protector of Buddha school. One day, I encountered big trouble, and I prayed to Golden Mother, Golden Mother, please help me. And Golden Mother said, if you ask Mariji and your mother, these 2 deities, you'll be fine. So Mariji will help me, and your mother will also help me. So at that time, I did pray to Mariji and my mother. So the calamity was really huge, but it was all transformed into nothing. So the calamity was transformed into non-calamity. So Mariji has this great capability, and Mariji taught me, just follow my instructions, where to go, what to do, then you can transform this calamity. And I said, okay. I followed her instructions. And then finally we transformed the calamity into nothingness. So this deity is an extremely great Heruka, protector. So Japanese Tantrayana as well as Tibetan Tantrayana especially revere this deity. But in Japan, the ninjas worship this deity. The patriarchs of ninja revere Mariji, and the mudra that ninjas form are the mudra of Mariji. We often see ninjas in the movies. Ninja turtle. Ninja. So the Japanese ninjas all worship Mariji. And because she can disappear, become invisible. And this is the invisible mudra. You form this with a hole in the fist. The left hand form this mudra with a hole, and the rest are tight except one hole. And the right hand closes it on top, and you visualize yourself to enter into the hole, and then you use your right hand to close it. So this means you become invisible inside the hole, and no one would be able to see you. You become invisible. So this is the invisibility mudra. So if someone tries to harm you at night, you form this mudra, recite the mantra, and then visualize you yourself enter into your left palm, and then you close it with your right hand.
这个好像鬼神啊来找你。
The ghost or the gods who try to find you could not find you. You're gone, you're not on the bed.
睡觉以前你就做了
Because you did this before bed.
鬼神就见不到你。
Then the ghost and the gods would not be able to see you, will not be able to find you.
很厉害哦。
This is incredible.
啊，它有隐身法，它有很多的法。
So there's Dharma practice for
这边有
becoming
写了很多
to become
很多
invisible.
的法
Mariji has
隐
many
身法
different dharmas.
你修他的咒不会打瞌睡，除瞌睡法。
And also
这个
to
结
eliminate
印身法
sleepiness.
你也可以结这个手
Dharma
印
practice
印
to
头
form the mudra
心悸
and touching the
左肩
brow, the
右肩
throat, the
再回
heart,
到上面
left shoulder,
结
right
印
shoulders
附身
and
法
back.
就是
This is also
这个摩
protection.
尼之天
Mud-
已经帮你守护
So Mariji is protecting you this way,
你刻摩尼之天的
and
像
you
配
can
在身上
uh,
就可以除去
sculpt
灾难
an image of
还有
Mariji
用针线
to eradicate
缝恶人的
calamities,
口眼法
and you can use needle
你
and
用
thread
针跟线
to
做
saw
你会把
the
恶人的口
eyes
跟
and the
眼
mouth
睛
of
红
enemies,
起来他看不到你
so the
嘴巴也
enemies
不
will
能
not be
骂
able
你
to see you or
另外还有
nor
除病
use
法
their
它
speech
可以
to
解
scold
除
you.
你身上的所有的病
And
还可以
she can
起
also
悟法
eliminate
起悟法
illnesses
你想要什么东西
and
你
also
念这个
to
咒那个
obtain
东西
things
自然会跑到你这里来
things that you
另外还
want.
有
If you
百
recite the
灵
mantra,
相
that
助
thing would
法
come
百
naturally to
灵相
you.
助法是什么法？就是有很多灵界的
And
朋友
also a Dharma
跟
practice
随的
to
摩尼
help
之
a
天
lot of spirits to
100
help
个
you.
灵都会帮助你。
So like hundreds
这个
of
起悟
spirits
法
following
很奇
Mariji
怪
to help you.
师尊以前本来是什么东西都没有，
So this Dharma practice to
那你
obtain
想要
things are very
想要什么
interesting.
东西？
Grandmaster
只
did
要
not
跟
have
摩尼
anything
之天讲
before.
我想要
Like
什么
if
东西
if you want something, you told
就会
Mariji,
有人送你这
and
个东西
then naturally someone would give you that thing.
但师尊现在是什么都不想，
But now Grandmaster doesn't want anything.
什么东西我都不想。
I don't think of anything.
金块我也不想，
Gold bar,
因
I
为太
don't
大了，我
want.
搬不动。
It's too big. I cannot move it.
金
Too
砖啊
heavy.
我不敢想，为什么？
Gold
因
brick,
为像砖一样那一块，我根本就搬
I
不动。
cannot move it.
金砖你
I
搬得
cannot
出来
lift it. Can you lift a gold brick?
这种
That would be
所
very
以像
heavy.
那个金砖啊，我是不敢想。对
So I
金块
don't dare to think of
想
that.
了几次
Gold
就会来
bar,
了几块
I've thought of it several times and there come several bars. Not
1
little
公斤
bars.
的
1 kilo bars.
啊，1公斤的，1公斤呢，想了几次，哎，看，哎，蛮不错的。
I saw one and I thought, oh, this is not bad. Maybe I can have a
就有
few
人送
bars.
几块来
And then someone gave me a
真的啊？
few bars. Really?
啊，1公斤的啊，
A kilo
谁
bar.
送的啊？
Who offered it to me?
啊，Mr. Organic。我不管你们认得他，认不得他
Miss Organic,
Miss
whether you
Organic.
know her
，Miss
or not.
Miss Organic
I called her Miss Organic
and Mr. Organic
and Mr. Organic.
都有了，他们都有送。
They both
不敢再
made
想，
offering
因
to
为
me.
再想的话，你把你家的后院的那个假山的石头都送来。
I don't want to think of anything, otherwise you may give me the
有人
rocks
送给我一个很大
from the
包的东
garden
西
behind your house.
哇，用箱子
Someone
装
gave
的
me a
订得
huge
好好
box
我一看，
and it was
Oh,
wrapped
这么重。
really well and it was very heavy and I thought,
就
wow.
请那个工人
What should we
用那
do?
个
I asked the worker
那种起重机
to use the
起重机
cart
把那个箱子装。我想
and to lift the box. It's very heavy. And finally moved it to the house. And then when we opened it, it turned out, oh no, gosh. It's a fake mountain. It's like a rock. And she thinks it's a valuable thing, but I didn't think much of it. It's the rocks from behind her house. Give it to Grandmaster. So if you want something, you ask Mariji, and then she would give it to you. As long as you have spiritual response with her. If you're very sincere toward her, she would bestow it to you. She has this power. So she has this Dharma practice for obtaining things. So if you want certain things, and then you recite her mantra, that thing would appear in front of you. Say if you want the Sarira of Sakyamuni Buddha and you form her mudra, she would go to the Sushita heaven and went to the Sarira pagoda of the Buddha, and then she would place a Sarira in front of you, took it from that pagoda. She has this power. And Grandmaster had asked for this Sakyamuni Buddha's Sariras. Om Moni Moni Mahamoni Sakyamuni Swaha. 你就是一直念这个咒 Om Moni Moni Mahamoni Sakyamuni Swaha. You continually recite this mantra, and it's very interesting because Mariji Bodhisattva they are related because they are also Moni, Moniji and Moni Sakyamuni. So they have this mo syllable, mo syllable. So the sit syllable for Mariji is mo. Sakyamuni Buddha, the mantra. So the mo is there. So they are related. So Mariji Bodhisattva went to Shita heaven to the Sakyamuni Buddha Sarira Pagoda, and she could go in and take Sakyamuni Buddha's Sarira and then give it to Grandmaster. So Grandmaster has the Sarira of Buddha Sakyamuni. So Mariji Bodhisattva has great benefits. Protect me from disasters, calamities of lawsuits, from accidents, from road accidents, from war accidents, weapon accidents, from ghost calamities, poisonous calamities, animal calamities. Protect me from enemies and evil people. And at any time, at any place, please continually protect me. So she is the Zanwei, the warrior's courage Vajra, and she is the greatest protector of True Buddha School. Should I talk about Hevajra? Now it's 5:30 already. Just for 5 minutes. Okay, today, chapter 41, Hevajra's 10 key teachings. In this article, I briefly explained the 10 profound meanings of Hevajra based on my personal discoveries. So very profound and deep meanings, who are also my own discoveries and personal experience. And these 10 key teachings are very meaningful. Actually, Hevajra is very difficult to explain and it's very difficult to transmit. And very few people transmitted Hevajra. But today, Master Sheng-yen or the Zhong Rinpoche transmitted Hevajra to Grandmaster, and Grandmaster is very grateful because the first Heruka that appeared is Hevajra. So once you master Hevajra, it would be easy to learn or to practice the other Hevajras because they are great similarities. The other Heruka practices came from Hevajra. It is very difficult to explain why. Simply said, we have watched the TV series, The Concubine Harem and the Concubine Zhenhuan. That if this TV series is translated into English and being broadcasted in United States, it should be quite popular there too. So they're all discussing. It's easy to translate the king. So Huang Sang is king. And Huang Ho is queen. Queen. That in New York City there's an area that's called Queens. And the Huang Sang is king. And now the problem, how about the concubines? They have all these different names or terms for the different concubines of different levels. All these terms are very difficult to translate, and because they don't have such concepts in the West. Actually, it's easy. And now it's popular. We can just say the little 3, little 4, little 5, little 6, little 7, little 8. Or like Mistress 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But there's only one that's difficult to translate. It's the eunuch. What would you say it? In the West, they don't have this concept of a eunuch. So,
noble people.
So translated as no bird people. The person with no bird. So it is very difficult to explain. So Hevajra is also very difficult to explain. That's the reason. In order to explain it clearly and completely, can only be done by someone who understands or comprehends it completely. So Buddhism, Buddha, Tathagata are very difficult to differentiate. Difficult to translate. Buddha, very difficult. So in English it's called Buddha, but in Japanese, Buddha is pig. Is Buddha pig? Buddha. Pig. So there are a lot of terms are very difficult to translate, and Buddhist terms are really, really very difficult to translate to the Western concepts. Like the mantra for Amitabha Buddha, Om Amideva Sit. And they say, how come you say shit? Because Americans like to always say shit, shit.
Shit on you.
This is not good. How come there's shit in this mantra? But the mantra is mantra. How can you translate it? Shit is poo. So Grandmaster once went to see the Christmas lights. The Christmas lights. There was an American who kept saying shit on you to his friend. I didn't know what it meant, so I asked Simu. And Simu said, shit for you on your body. So immediately I remembered it. Master Changren in the past taught Foqing and Foqi Cantonese. First he taught eat shit in the reverend drink pee. The reverend eats poo. So Master Changren taught them these two statements, and they remembered them very vividly, thanks to Master Changren. It's difficult to translate. So first, the hair in Hevajra, which literally in Chinese means joy. This means the great compassion and great mercy. And Vajra, or in the Tushita heaven, his weapon is this Vajra scepter. This is one of the weapons in Tushita heaven, and it means it's very strong and it is indestructible, unbreakable, cannot deteriorate. It's everlasting. That's called Vajra, immutable. But the name, this name is just a name. So the name Hevajra is the one with great compassion, the one that's everlasting, that's never go bad or deteriorate, immutable. That would be called Hevajra. You have read Diamond Sutra, and someone could read it, someone could recite it out of memory. But do you understand the meaning of it? You can read it, you can memorize it, but you don't know the meanings or to explain the meanings of it. A lot of people talk or expound or explain Diamond Sutra, but no one explains it correctly. The Vajra Prajna Paramita Sutra means that the sutra can is the sutra that can break or destroy the Vajra, and the sutra is called the Diamond Sutra. So only the sutra that can break or destroy the Vajra is called the Prajnaparamita Sutra, which is the king of all sutras. So Diamond Sutra, or actually the Vajra Sutra, is the sutra that can break and destroy all the habitual tendencies and all the worldly concepts of good or bad. Whether it's good or bad, they all destroys. Only then the sutra would be called the Diamond Sutra or Vajra Sutra. And moreover, it can destroy all the rules and concepts inside you. They all broken apart. If you can understand what I just said, then you can understand the deepest meaning of the Diamond Sutra or the Vajra Sutra. If you don't understand what I just said, then then you do not understand the Diamond Sutra. So the Diamond Sutra is the sutra who destroys everything. Then that would be the true Diamond Sutra or the Vajra Sutra. If in the Diamond Sutra, if you still say, oh, this or this or this are the things spoken by the Buddha, then you still don't comprehend the Diamond Sutra. Who could comprehend Diamond Sutra? So people underneath may ask, so does it mean you don't want us to do charitable work? You don't want us to do goods? Are you telling us not to follow the Buddha's teachings? Why do you ask us to break or to destroy everything? What do you mean? Let me give you an analogy. On the moon, I'm asking you, on the moon, what is good? What is bad? Who can answer me now? On the moon, what is good? What is bad? On the moon, what is meat and what is vegetarian? Who can answer me? Now let me tell you a statement. The so-called Diamond Sutra is the sutra who destroys everything, who break apart everything. On this earth, Grandmaster is one of the people who could understand Diamond Sutra. There are many, many people who expound on Diamond Sutra, but no one said it like I did. So, charity, the so-called charity is no charity. Knowing that it is no charity, then it would be called charity. The so-called merits, because knowing it is no merit, that's why then it would be a true merit. So, the so-called fruition, knowing that it is not a fruition, that's why it is a fruition. It is very difficult to explain, but Grandmaster comprehended what it means, the ultimate truth of it. So this is the true understanding of the mind. Once you understand the mind, then you can expound the Diamond Sutra. Otherwise, you take down the real meaning of the sutra.
这个中国人，我们汉人最喜欢金刚经。
So Chinese, the Han people loves the Diamond Sutra and the Heart Sutra, and they could memorize them, and they could write them. That's very good. And Grandmaster also asks you to perform charities, to do goods. Of course, you have to do that, but they are only a step, only a stage, a level. When you reach the highest realm, is when this Vajra break apart everything, destroys everything. And I'm telling you, it destroys even the Buddha Dharma. The so-called Dharma, it was spoken by the Buddha in the Diamond Sutra very clearly. Even the Dharma you should let go. Moreover, the non-Dharma, you have to forsake even Buddha Dharma. Moreover, the non-Buddha Dharma. That's the highest realm. So nobody understands the Diamond Sutra. The ones that can expound on Diamond Sutra are the ones who have the true understanding of the mind and seeing the Buddha nature. Only ones that has attained the fruition of the Tathagata can expound the Diamond Sutra. This makes a lot of sense. Someone went to Xinjiang to teach there, and a student was very naughty. And the class leader called on the parents, and then, do you take care of the parents? Parents, do you take care of the kid? And then the parents said, well, because I have too many children, that's why I sent the kid to the school. And the teacher was upset, so why do you have so many children? And the parents said, oh, because I'm a shepherd. So, and our homes have no electricity. So if we don't make children at night, what should we do? There's a little bit of Diamond Sutra in this. In Hevajra, the important thing is to develop the causes and conditions, the affinity between you and Hevajra. And when you receive, after you receiving Hevajra empowerment, and you have the insights of Hevajra, and you do Hevajra practice, and you gain the Hevajra Dhamma power, and ultimately you attain the fruition of the wisdom of empty nature. So the wisdom of empty nature is important, and this is what was spoken in the Diamond Sutra. In the beginning, you should have affinity with Buddha Dharma and receive the empowerments of the deity. You have insights and experience, and then you do the practice, and then you gain the power of the Dharma, and then ultimately you attain the fruition of the wisdom of the empty nature. And this wisdom of empty nature is Diamond Sutra. That's all for today. Om Mani Padme Hum.